Is it live and fast at last? There's the result. Good grief. Didn't you guys get my email? We're here. We're here. We're here. We're here for the beer. See if that works. Works. Okay, good. So it's only the hardcore people are still here after 10 minutes, right? Can you hear me now? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Long story short, Twitch wouldn't accept my stream key for some reason. So, and I have no email on this computer, and my own computer's gone. So I ran up to Cameron's computer and sent an email to a couple of people there. John and Courting Gummy. You'd not read your email, guys. Twitch. The diehard fans, that's all that's left. This is a filter. It's a way to get rid of the people who are not really interested. Just have the stream run 10 minutes late, right? So we're trying this out. I know the Mac is very old, but the software is new. And let me know, are we getting, 1 foot per second or something, or is it up? No idea. You tell me. It's basically the same setup. Check your email, boys. John, I sent an email to John and to Courting Gummy, the emails that I can remember. And what we've got here is, instead of a laptop next to me, we have an actual desktop iMac in front of me. And that's why this camera is quite different. As to the other two cameras, they're the same. They're plugged into the back. So I think we're okay. The audio settings are different. On the old computer, I had a compressor setting worked out. I forgot to copy it down before I came over here. Nickel cats. I forgot to copy the compressor settings, and I don't know how to recreate them from zero. So at the moment, the mic is a raw mic with no compression. Anyway, let's get to work. It's already late. It's Wednesday afternoon. Cameron won't be here. He's off at the immigration office. He went a couple of weeks ago to ask for his visa extension, which he has to do every year. Even though he's got a full-time job, he still has to go and prove to them that he has a job and take his tax papers and all that kind of stuff. And he asks for an extension. He's been asking for a 3-year extension each time, and they've only given him a 1-year extension. So a few weeks ago, he put it in again, asked again for a 3-year extension. So he's over there this morning getting his passport stamped, and whether he's got 1 year or 3 years, I don't know, till he gets back. So that's what I said. It's the same mic, the same setup, but without the compression settings. So if I just, for a test, for example, if I make a loud noise, well, let's not do that. That's okay. Let's just get to work. Let's just get to work. So Cameron won't be here this morning. He's over at the immigration office. Other than that, it should be a normal Wednesday. There should be 4 of the girls here. It should be Audrey, Evelyn, Shiba-san, and a new young lady who is testing with us. Young lady from Mexico. She'll be here for the next little while. She looks pretty good, so I say testing, but almost certainly she's going to work out okay, I think. So, a bunch of different languages, Mexican, I think, of course, Spanish, what do you mean? Spanish, Italian, English, and Japanese, I think, is her repertoire. And she was a customer. She came to do a print party herself some time back, got interested, talked to us, we talked to her, and now she's here trying to see if she can fit onto the team. Also, the browser here is not giving me the full chat at all. I'm probably seeing, after about 3 or 4 comments are here, they bubble up to where I see. The latest comment I'm seeing in the chat here says, looks far away, as if you were seeing the laptop mic back in the other setup. And then it goes beyond the browser and there's no scroll bar to bring it up. But I think there's probably comments below that, so keep that in mind. I'm not seeing comments until they've bubbled up for a while. We got a bunch of work done yesterday. It was a really, 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 really good day. Cameron and I, because my computer went away, we had to rearrange the desktop computers here. I need an old desktop to work with for the next time while my laptop's away. So we did a bunch of rearranging of the IT stuff, and we restructured our backup system. We've been a bit careless. We have on-site backups for everything, but we've been a bit careless with arranging all the off-site backups because we've changed computers so many times. So yesterday we went through the whole thing, and we now have solid, stable off-site backup for every machine that has priority data. And the other problem with the off-site backups is the assumption there is that after the fire, earthquake, or disaster, whatever, when all of our internal stuff is gone, our computers are gone, our backup drives are gone, the assumption is the building has been destroyed. So we have to start from new computers. So we didn't try that yesterday. We talked about what we would do if we were doing that. And it turned out we didn't have enough information for it, all the Amazon keys and stuff like that. I had a copy of all those things on a USB drive in my pocket. And that drive had been sitting there so long it had become unreadable. So what we had thought was an important part of our backup system was actually unreadable. So when he's here today, we're going to duplicate that stuff 3 ways. I'm going to keep copies, he's going to keep copies, Amazon's going to keep copies. And they will be kept out of this building, off-site. Just keep them at your homes. And then we'll test it next week, if we had to recover using no data whatsoever. I mean, if you've had an experience with Amazon S3, you know those keys, you can't remember them. They're impossible. It's random, huge, long strings of numbers and letters. The cones are lined up. It's an alignment of the stars. It must be a lucky day, is that it? The thing about leaving my laptop in, taking it in for service yesterday, is a couple of funny parts about that. I asked her, what's the expected time for how long it will take? And she said, well, I can't tell you, but we're estimating, we're experiencing 7 to 10 days for this thing. They're getting a lot of them in, I guess. And she says 7 to 10 days. And she couldn't promise any more than that. And then I said, that's funny, because a friend of ours in Finland, he said his laptop has been sent away for the same thing. And he said it took 3 weeks or so, a little bit more than 3 weeks. So I mentioned this to her. And she said, well, she doesn't know country by country, but she said probably the problem is that these battery laptop replacements, they're not allowed to be shipped by air. So each service center, if there isn't a place in the same city where work can be done, if it has to be sent to another city, it has to go into a fireproof box and then shipped by surface. So the young man in Finland, I guess, has had to go into a box and put on a truck and a ferry wherever to some European service center, I guess. So there are some advantages, I think, to living in Tokyo. We'll see. What's this? Come. Paper out. Yes, paper is out. A bunch of papers. There's a ton of people working upstairs today. Suga-san is doing 2 batches. She's alternating because it's too much wet on the paper to do too much printing on one day. And Rei-chan is doing a batch of JJ, one of the JJ prints. Kawai-san's just finishing JJ2. He's going to start JJ4. We're doing a second batch because we've got so many people on the waiting list. The other thing about that battery replacement too, when I took, I sat there at the, what they call the Genius Bar, bizarre name for whatever service center, but anyway. So I sat there and the young girl, she's quite cool, she's seeing what she's doing, okay. But first thing she does, she looks at my laptop and she tries to wiggle it. She tries to, you've got the laptop on the table, she presses 2 corners on the laptop and go, bounce. And she says the battery has started to expand. So it's swelling the case already. So I'm like, she didn't say anything more than that, but there it is. The battery had already started to expand. It's a 3.5-year-old laptop. And she also mentioned something that might affect how you guys use your computer. She said, how do you use your machine? Do you use it as a desktop plugged in all day, or do you walk around town all day running on battery power? I told her for the most part it sits here on my desk and yeah, it's pretty much plugged in all the time. And she said, that's not so good, please don't do that. And I'm like, I thought in the old days when we had, what were they called, nickel-cadmium batteries? If you did that, the batteries didn't learn how to charge and recharge, and then they wouldn't work properly. But I thought lithium-ion batteries were not prone to that. And she says it's a common misconception. She said the deal is those lithium-ion batteries are in cells. There's a series of cells all in a row. And she says, I'm just quoting what she said if you just keep it plugged in all day, the battery is only ever using the first cell in the row. And that one goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And then later on, if you unplug and you try and use the other cells, I don't know what word she said, they've had no experience, they don't work well because they just haven't been used properly. So she said, what did she say? At least once a week or so. She said, run it for the day without plugging it in. Let it run. She didn't say run it to the bottom, but run it, use it. Use the battery. Let it go down. So I don't know. I had never heard that advice before about lithium batteries. But there it is from the service center. That's what she said. So. Czech Republic. Oh, Marubuju, you're here today. Our font man. Yeah, the battery. I'm just repeating what she said to me. I'm not a battery expert. I know nothing about this. Her point was, she said, and she gestured, she said the battery is all in cells, one by one. And if you keep it plugged in, you're only ever using the first cell. So I don't know if you're want to learn more about it, Google up or something. I'm just repeating what she said. But she clearly did. She asked me specifically, wanting to know my answer. So, Marimuju-san. So, I'm working on the script. The video planning is almost all ready. The video for the introduction video to the Hasegawa font. It's pretty much ready. I've got to get some B-roll ready for the camera. And then one day next week, we'll be filming it. And I'll probably do the same thing. I'll film it while I'm on a Twitch stream or something, the next YouTube video. As a heads up for everybody, David's Choice 10 is in preparation now. And it'll be filmed later this week or early next week. It won't be open next week, so still we have to wait till the font is ready. But the video, I'm just getting my part of it done as much as I can. The other thing about the service call yesterday at Apple, there'll be people who hear this, they're going to laugh and say, yeah, of course, Apple. What are you doing buying Apple computers? But what happened was, I'm visiting this place under this recall program. So, of course, there's going to be no charge, presumably, involved for this. But there is the question of once they open it up and look at it, suppose they find other issues or damage or whatever, stuff that's not covered by the recall program. And she even asked me, is there other stuff that you want repaired at the same time? Stuff like this, so those questions. I said, no, I'm cool with this. I'm good with the computer. I've never spilled coffee on it. It doesn't need anything else. There's been no damage to it. It's been, taken care of. Hasn't even been taken around town every day. It just basically sits on the desk, blah, 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 blah. Shouldn't be any problem. So she says, okay. But anyway, once we open it up, she says, if we do find, other stuff, water residue or stuff, we'll be calling you to discuss the cost and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's just go ahead with the recall, So she pulls out the paper. This is all electronic on a screen. And there's the little sort of service contract that we are entering into. And it's marked at the top as I forget what it says. It's in Japanese. What do you do? Inspection of a computer ready for prior reason, but estimate of service costs, blah, 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 blah. And the first item on the thing is, the initial charge, the charge for inspection and looking at a computer before any of the servicing to us. And that's 65,000 yen, $600. And then below it, it's put, because of recall, minus 6,500 yen. So it comes out to be zero. So if they find nothing else inside the computer, my cost is zero. And she said, if we find something else wrong inside there, your service charge will be 65,000 yen. So that's what Apple here charges in Tokyo to open up a computer and look inside. Okay, I believe we've come to the end of another row. Those of you who have seen this before know what happens next. Another column. These are columns or rows. These are, you've come to the end of another column of type. So we're going to do another one. We've got, how many columns have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 columns left. So we pull the paper back to expose one more. And peel off the paper. Are we on the screen? The reason we're peeling it off bit by bit here is because this carving is so detailed and finicky. I'm going round and around and around. If I peeled it all off at once, the rubbing from my hand as I rubbed left and right and round would abrade this thing. So that's why we're keeping it hidden. Questions. Will we make a Heroes print featuring the Master Chief from Halo? I don't know anything about this. I know at the moment we are totally full up with production capacity here. We have 17 Ukiyo-e Heroes prints in the library. The next 3, 18, 19, 20 aren't going to be Ukiyo-e Heroes. They're going to be the Sushi Cat series. It's the Sushi Cats, Ramen Cats, and Hanami Cats. And carving on those is for the most part done, but we're not even at the test printing stage yet. We started test printing a little bit of Sushi Cats. So we don't even have the idea of scheduling the next Ukiyo-e Heroes print yet, I'm sorry. It's just not possible. We're just totally at capacity. Again, if you want a specific game character, drop a line to Jed. It works two ways with Jed. He will either think, I don't like that, click, he'll erase your email. Or he might have 5 minutes to spare and say, yeah, that's cool. And he'll just draw it right there. The heavy charge there, or the heavy theoretical charge for the repair. I was thinking about that. Actually, I was chatting with Cameron about it when we came home, And there's other aspects to this, When you get a recall on an old model like this, and this has been on the market for 4 years, 2015 model show, so it's an over 4-year-old computer. And we were thinking about, there's obviously people who are going to try and abuse this. There are 4-year-old laptops of this model that have been out there and beaten up and smacked, and you get them in a used computer store for $100, whatever. So someone's going to pick one of those up and take it into the recall service, saying, hey, look, I see this has been recalled for a service, fix it up, please. And this is a computer that, as I said, it's been bashed up and smashed up and all this has gone wrong with it. So I think Apple has to protect themselves against that kind of stuff. You can't have an open blanket recall for a 4-year-old model of computer. Just bring it in and we'll fix it up and make it all happy for you. The potential for abuse there, I think, is pretty strong. So my first guess on this situation is that's why the paperwork is structured in that way, to give them an out. That if people want to abuse this and bring in strange stuff, then they can just say, sure, we'll fix it for you, but here's where we're going to start. Something like that. I don't know. Just speculation. when I was in Apple yesterday down at the Ginza, it's one of their real flagship stores. I guess maybe they all are. I don't know what the difference, but I haven't been in there for years and years and years. And I walked in, it's a rainy day. I walked in, and you go in there, and it's just such a. I mean, it's a cool place. It's a cool environment. It's just. It reminds me every now and then we get people who come in our shop here at Mokohankan. And they'll come in and look around for a minute, maybe browse a few prints, and they say, wow, this is kind of like an Apple store. And I get what they're saying, because what we've tried to do here is we've tried to keep the place clean and open and bright. All the other print shops in town, all of them, they fill every space of the walls with designs and images and prints trying to catch people's attention. And we've kept the walls pretty much bare. There's one print in a frame hanging on the wall down at the other end here. There's one scroll hanging on the wall. And as for the rest of the middle of the room, there's nothing. The walls are completely bare, except we've got our sort of motto phrase in wood lettering, living with woodblock prints, is emblazoned along one wall. And the rest of it's empty, clean, and bright. And the counter is funky wood counter and clean. This is the approach we've tried. I didn't try to make it look like Apple, expensive and exclusive and all that stuff. But I did want to make it a pleasant, bright, cheerful, happy staff kind of environment, I stood there for a while, but I was waiting for my turn. I was a few minutes early, so I stood there for a while. I'm looking at the place and thinking, what could we learn from this for our Mokohankan shop? We're doing okay. People are enjoying the shop, so there it is. But, looking at this place, is there anything else I can learn from this? And what they do have that we don't have, actually, their place is clean and open and bright. But somewhere featured on every floor, it might be along one wall or some other wall or somewhere, they have staggeringly large, huge, bold, colorful graphics. At the moment, I guess it's some picture of an iPhone 10 or whatever it is that they're selling at the moment, I don't know. And it's one of these, gradation color, beautiful, glossy, graphic things that extends over the whole wall, I was just sitting looking at that and thinking, in a non-cynical way, what if we did that? We've got an open white wall here, maybe the area there. Suppose we got one of our prints and we blew it up like 100 times or something and printed it in this sort of super glossy, shiny stuff with some light shining on it. And would that be interesting or not interesting, or blowing it up too far would show too many defects? I don't know. In a sense, it's already working for us outside, because we have a very large, 2.5 meters tall, I guess, poster outside of Jed's rickshaw cart print. And I think I mentioned before on stream, we've learned now that has become a tourist spot. The rickshaw cart drivers who bring their people down this street all now stop and point it out. And here's the famous foreigner, blah, blah, making woodblock prints based on game characters. And the people in the rickshaw cart take the picture, click, 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 and then they move on to their next spot on the tour. That was a mouse. So the big bold graphics for the woodblock prints. Maybe we should think about doing more of that. I don't know. Comments. Where's that mouse? Did I break it? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, John. I left myself open for that one, didn't I? Fair enough. I lost the string here. Okay, there's another column isolated. Today's Wednesday. It means Audrey-san, Shiba-san, and Evelyn will be here. And I guess Audrey's going to be full of her news. Those of you who follow the Instagrams for some of our staff members, Audrey has her own Instagram. And she posted the other day a picture of her finger with a ring on it. It's, I guess, a bit of an old-fashioned thing to do, but that's the way she's gone. She's got herself engaged. So I guess she'll be full of her news today when she comes in with this. So. And we were chatting about it before on the other stream today. This engagement has happened through this. She met the young man at a print party. He came here for a print party. So there you are. It's dangerous to come for print parties at Moko, Hong Kong. Actually, there is something I meant to talk about, and I'm not sure if I should or not. Yeah, let's go for it. I gotta go and fetch it. I don't have it handy. Let me go and fetch something here. Yo, shut. Find it there. Where's it? Where's it? Kira-san, where'd you put it? Kira-san. Anda. No, it's not here. Sorry. False alarm. Kira-san, Kira-san. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sorry about that. We got a bunch of new prints the other day. Kira-san was packaging them. And some of them were really interesting, really funny. And I can't find where she put them. So excuse me, bit of a false alarm. I'm supposed to be right there on the hook size shelf. She's not here. She's here tomorrow, so we'll have to... Sorry. Sorry about that. Prints were right there, I thought, on the counter, but the ones I want to show are gone, so I don't know. Let's see. Sorry about that. So no special show and tell today. Still like a clock. Oh, hi, hi. Good morning, good morning. 9 o'clock. How you doing?
Cameron here today?
Huh?
Cameron's missing.
No, he's getting his visa today.
Oh, okay.
His renewal.
Oh, lucky guy.
We don't know, 1 year or 3 years, we don't know. Hopefully 3 years, but we'll see. As soon as the stream is over, we'll close the door and put the air conditioners on. There's no way we can survive like this today. So.
Yeah.
For now, I'll tell you what, everyone's time. Can you open the back window? That'll help get a bit of breeze. I should have opened it at first, I forgot. Thanks. PVC, isn't that what this stuff's called? The normal white wood glue, I don't know, the polyvinyl chloride, I think. PVC is the Western name for it, I think. And so far I've never had trouble with it. When I was first using it, I got stupid. I put some of it on too thick and we stuck the paper down, and then when we tried to print there was too much glue in the upper layers of the wood. But these days we moisten the wood somewhat before putting the glue on, so the glue doesn't seem to sink too much into the wood. PVA, PVC, I don't know, no idea. I thought it was polyvinyl chloride, but whatever. Quite willing to be proven wrong. It's just normal white wood glue. And I put it on lightly, not too much of it, and the wood is moistened first. So. Are your studies continuing through the summer, or is there a summer break from your school?
It's summer break.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to cut it.
Huh? So you're studying on your own, or?
No, I have to continue for visa reasons. So, yeah.
Wait a minute, it's a summer break, so school is closed?
It's not closed, but there's no classes.
Okay.
So it starts from September 21st, I guess.
Okay. So you're having your relaxing then for a while, what?
Yeah, kind of. At least for 2 months.
Okay, PVA, is it? All right, fair enough. Do you follow on Audrey Sand's Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, so you saw her news this week? And
Yeah. It's big news, right?
I have for her, I guess, yes. I don't know. So I've never done that before. But
What, posting on Instagram or?
no. Getting engaged and getting married and stuff like that. You know, it's not,
Ah, yeah, right.
there was a story in one of my news feeds the last few days before I lost my computer. It was that same topic, the idea of getting engaged and stuff. And they pointed out something I hadn't known. In America, this lady who is one of the candidates running for president, Elizabeth Warren, turned out that when she got married, she's the one who asked the guy. I hadn't thought this was a thing. You know, usually it's the guy. We've got this classical image of the guy gets a ring ready, he kneels down and says, like, will you marry me, whatever.
Yeah.
I never did that, but that's the classic image. And I guess she didn't do that. She asked him to get married to me. But that became news and the focus of a newspaper story and all that kind of stuff. And well, I
And
guess
are they upset about it?
no. This was just it was a story. This is the modern era, and this is okay. So there was nothing critical. But it was reporting it also as news, which I hadn't known. You know, so. I guess when you think about it, I never thought about it, but when you think about it, it makes sense. Why would it always be? Is the male the one who is hunting a female or something? I don't know. Or it's an open question.
In fact, it's more the women who chose the
So that was the point. So the men hunt many females, and the women choose which one. So you know, it's this. So. in general, we're on this new computer with a bunch of new settings. In general, I think it's been okay, I guess. Have we had, is it been skipping? What I'm seeing on my monitor here, when I move my hand under the camera, I'm seeing quite a delay. I'm seeing about a half a second delay here, and it's a little bit jerky on my screen. But what's uploading? Oh, here's Aubrey-san coming in the door. We saw you duck under the door.
Good
Sneaking in.
morning. I try to be discreet.
Well, everybody's been watching your Instagram this week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's the next plan? No idea? No rush?
No rush.
Okay.
No rush. It's a bit international, so it's not easy
Soka,
to
soka, soka.
organize.
Yeah. Where's his home? I have no idea.
San Francisco.
American then. Okay. But you're not just quitting yet today or something like that?
No. Rest assured.
Dave sees these things. It's been happening for years. The girls here, Kanai-san, Dani-san, get married, and pregnant, this and this and this, and all these things. So I see these news items coming to me one by one. So. Here we go again. So. No, but from our point of view, the fun part of the story is, of course, the print party. Of course,
Yeah. Very lucky day, Wednesday.
Momotaro.
Yeah, started with Momotaro.
How many times can one person print Momotaro? Today's full staff, I guess. It's you, Evelyn Shiba-san, and the young lady from Mexico. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. Pardon?
Marcella.
Marcella. Okay. It's impolite not to remember them, so I got to get it. I've got to get it in my mind. I
Too
can't.
many girls.
Pardon me?
Too many girls.
Too many girls. Yeah, right. Too many girls in my life. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So many girls in my life. I can't remember all their names. Yeah. Okay. Don't quote me on that, please. Okay. So.
There's a 10 a.m. party, isn't there?
I think we're not really full today, but there are parties. Is there 10?
Well, I don't see it written, but I thought online...
I haven't checked it because I've got the computer here. Sorry, my own computer, it's gone to Apple, so I'll be finished here in 5 minutes or
Yeah,
so.
no problem. Take your
So
time.
on this computer, we'll move it back over there.
I'll just prepare this.
Yeah. Audrey-san. Oh, she's gone.
Yeah.
There's a few congratulations here. Some of the people know you, I guess. John, he's been here in Japan. He's the cameraman from Tennessee. I don't know if you remember the names. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And then Corning Gummy, I don't think he's been here in the shop before. So just a regular view of the street.
Thank you very much.
Oh, this machine is hot. Oh,
Yeah, it does.
yeah. Video processing and streaming. It is hot. I have to cook an egg off. Ooh. Did you guys see the TV show last night?
No, I forgot.
Oh, they're not interested. Look at that. We're on famous NHK programs and the employees say, oh, I forgot. So did I, actually.
How was the workshop in the restaurant?
Oh,
What
I
you
did.
did
Yeah, he was very nervous at the beginning,
Oh, someone is going really quickly in the shop. They must know.
yeah, he didn't know. I didn't tell him that I want him to the workshop. So.
So that's why he was a bit.
Yeah.
He had other plans and wanted to go
Around seeing the mountain and everything. Yeah, no, he invited me to so yeah, she did more stuff. So.
He did all the blocks.
Oh, did I start reading the book I got on Monday? No, I haven't even looked at it yet. In fact, I'm a real bad guy. I haven't even sent an email to the young man yet. I haven't even done that. That's just one of the things on my desk waiting to be done here. It's triage and firefighting, you know. Yesterday was a chance where the shop closed to catch up on a bunch of stuff we really had to do. As I mentioned, that backup system. And I'm really, really happy that we got time to do that yesterday because we were running on the edge. We had backups, but not really safe, secure backups. So it's just, there's still important jobs that come up and we can't ignore them. Where are we here? 9. Oh, it's done. It's time. Hello, Marcella. Hello. Thank you. Good.
How are you?
Ready for your first day here?
Yes.
Yes.
No, my first.
Well, not first, but whatever.
Second.
First
Wow.
How are you?
Have you guys met each other? I don't know who has met who or not. I don't know.
I met.
Last week, you know?
Yes, I met
Okay.
both of them.
Really?
Last week with Chico. Ah.
Okay, so I have to get out
So
here.
you
This
were
is
the
9:30.
Mexican friend? Oh, sorry.
Looks like this
focusing
machine's
on
going to do it.
the
So we'll be
Octopus
streaming here on the
and
regular schedule. And I'll be here Friday morning. Either just continuing with this or doing something else. No idea. So I think we're back to normal. The problem this morning at 8 o'clock wasn't accepting my stream key. And I didn't realize the system. I had just copied and pasted my old stream key from the old computer here, assuming that was my stream key. No, they assign it each time you log into a browser, which I didn't know. So I was logged in on a fresh new computer trying to use the old stream key. My mistake. Sorry. Live and learn. Now we know. So anyway, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be here Friday morning. Thanks very much. I've missed a whole ton of this thing today, but I'll be seeing a copy comes in my email at noon. I'll give it a look at. I'm looking in the wrong place. I'm looking down. See you Friday. Thanks very much. And sorry for the mistake at the beginning of the stream today. See you then. Where's my notes? Okay, here we go. Where to go? Camera. Here we go. Thanks again. Bye-bye.